everyone! In this mini-series, we're going to explore two very delicious desserts. Super crunchy from top to bottom, soft and creamy in the middle, and loaded with nuts. Kunafa and torta ricciolina, similar look, different experience. Let's head to the kitchen and see how Kunafa is made. What makes this dessert special is the sugary syrup that gives Kunafa its distinctive sweetness and keeps its crunchiness. So let's start by making this yummy syrup. Put sugar and water together along with a squeeze of lime, cover the pot and leave it to simmer on medium heat until it reaches 110 degrees Celsius. In the meantime, I'll prepare the filling. In Egypt, we fill Kunafa with sweet custard cream or a sweet cream thickened with cornstarch. I personally make it so differently. I make my cream without adding any sugar, and I use semolina as a thickener. Believe me on this, it's a totally different experience. Cover the cream with cling fill, not to dry out, and leave it aside. Check the temperature of the syrup. It should be ready by now. Let it cool down completely before using, or it will make your Kunafa soft and soggy. I was going to tell you to pay attention to this step. Oh well, you should pay attention to all steps in this simple yet very technical dessert. Fluff up your Kunafa strings as much as you can and rub it properly with melted ghee so as not to miss any part. This is very essential to cook the Kunafa evenly, otherwise it will be raw in the middle, gritty and tasteless. You might think it's taking so much time. It's actually not. You should stop rubbing when all the Kunafa strings are shiny and golden. Then you're ready to build it up. Spread the strings starting from the edges of the tray, making sure to cover all the bottom, not to allow the cream to escape, and stick to the sides. A key for a perfect Kunafa is to always make thin layers and not to press it too much, so you can keep its fluffiness and airy texture. There is so many different ways to make Kunafa. My mom used to make Kunafa on the gas hob, turning the tray around so it will be evenly cooked, and then she flips it on the other side. Oh, I don't have time for this. Oh, sorry, Mama. I use the oven on a very high heat so the Kunafa perfectly toasts all the way through, top to bottom, without touching it. Now carefully spread the cream filling. You will notice it thickens up even more when I left it. That was the plan. Remember not to let your spatula or anything you spread the cream with touch the Kunafa strings, or it will stick to it and ruin the whole thing in a second. Try to just spread the cream on the surface, leaving 1 centimeter gap around the edges with no cream. Now put the top layer of Kunafa, again starting from the edges all the way to the middle. I would suggest you heat up your oven to 220 degrees now. You can always prepare the Kunafa one day ahead and leave it covered in the fridge to bake the next day. It will be as good as the fresh one. Tap it gently and be careful not to squeeze the cream out. Bake it in the oven for 30 minutes or until it reaches the perfect golden color. Not too light and not too dark. It should be the same color from both sides without even flipping it. Pour the syrup on top in a round motion to evenly cover all the surface of your Kunafa, but don't go twice with the syrup on the same spot, not to be too sweet. That's why I never put sugar in the cream, but it's up to you how sweet you like your Kunafa. Flip it upside down on a nice serving plate. Never cover Kunafa when it's still hot. It will lose its lovely crunchy texture. Just eat it fresh. Eat it hot. It's never the same the next day. But what you can do is to heat up the piece you're going to eat in the oven for 10 minutes to revive it. Sprinkle some ground pistachios to complement the flavor and to look more elegant. And voila! Now let me show you a Konafa recipe in which you can use oil instead of ghee if you want to make it vegan. It's super nice and stays crunchy forever. This also is another different way to make Kunafa, a much easier way. And for all nut lovers out there, this is heaven. Start by spreading some plain Kunafa strings in a non-stick baking tray. Add some of the sugar syrup we made earlier to some whole pistachios and mix them together very well. Oil your hands, spoon or gloves if you're wearing any, so the nut mixture doesn't stick to them and be so hard to handle. Spread the pistachios on half of the Kunafa base. I used 2 different kinds of nuts just to show you some options. Repeat the same step using whole blanched hazelnuts. Cover the nuts with another layer of kunafa, pushing it down as hard as you can to hold all together, especially on the corners to make it neater. Add some melted ghee on top to fry and toast your kunafa completely. The syrup I put inside is to hold the nuts together in place and to caramelize in the oven, giving the kunafa and nuts an elevated taste and a golden brown caramel color. Bake it for 30 minutes in a preheated oven on 220 degrees or until light golden brown. Pour some more syrup on top, then drain any excess ghee or syrup. Leave it to cool down entirely, then cut it with a sharp knife into little cubes. See how crunchy it is? Can you hear this lovely sound? The pistachios and the hazelnuts are so holding together, going nowhere, and thanks to the syrup inside. I really wish you can taste one of these right now and tell me which kunafa you like more.
This is the dessert I met Sarah with. This is the dessert I discovered that she was an incredible pastry chef, and you can just hear the sound. Sarah, perfect. Crunchy, moist in the middle, love the cream, fantastic. The best Kunafa, seriously, top notch. And now to those. Yeah, back up. Because I want them to hear the sound, like. The texture is amazing. For me, crunchiness is everything. Crunchiness stimulates the appetite. Seriously, feel the difference. Here we got the creaminess of the semolina and cream that there is inside. Here we got something like really crunchy, and I'm just gonna enjoy it. Oh, go ahead.
So Stephanie, what do you think?
I'm gonna eat. I don't care, I'm not gonna say anything. I love it.
Kunafa is a classic dessert from Egypt that will melt your heart. Layers of shredded wheat or noodle-like dough, fried in ghee and finished with sugar syrup. It has so many types and shapes, always made with nuts or cream. Very rich and sweet. Kunafa dough is also served savory, rolled on prawns in some Asian cuisines. The Arabic word Kunafa comes from the Coptic Egyptian word Knafeh, which means bread or cake. In Turkey they call it tel kataifi. It's based on an Arabic word, qataif, which is a kind of pancake or crepe. Kunafa is a Middle Eastern dessert, also very famous in Palestinian cuisine, known as Kunafa Nabolseya. There's different variations of Kunafa in Turkey, Greece, and the Balkans. In Fatimid Egypt, as early as the 10th century, under the Khalifa Abdul ibn Marwan, there is a common story that this dish was created and prescribed by doctors to satisfy the hunger of the caliphs during Ramadan. Its long-lasting warming effects were said to satiate hungry princes during fasting. Since medieval Islamic times, Konafa has remained a festive food, commemorating all sorts of religious and family celebrations. In the later Middle Ages, a new technique was created, with thin batter being dripped onto the metal sheet from a perforated container, creating hair-like strings. Really hope you enjoyed this.
Thank you for starting for me. No, guys, I really hope you had an idea and you learned a different technique, because it's an amazing one, really, to master. Yeah, it's not so easy. So please follow all the steps. We're gonna give you as much details as we can. Subscribe to our channel.
Like and share.
And please support us on Patreon. We really appreciate your support.
Thank you for watching us.
Bye.
Bye.
I've been eating 7 pieces of this